Hey guys, it's me. I wanted to make a little bit of a different video today. I wanted to do a little DIY project here at home, and I thought I would show you guys how I do it. So, if you follow me on Instagram, which if you don't you should, it's @nikosarbata, same username. You probably saw that last weekend I ran the Austin half marathon. You can also see that right here. So it was a lot of fun. It was actually sort of a last minute decision that I made to run the half. I'm actually running another half marathon this coming Sunday, the 28th, in New Orleans, and that's a run that Chris and I have planned for a long time. We're really excited about doing that. Since getting married and being kind of away for the post-holiday season, I haven't done a whole lot of running, so signing up for the New Orleans half marathon was kind of a way to get myself back on track. And what I realized in preparing for the New Orleans half was that just 2 weeks before it was the Austin half. And I thought, well, what better way to train for New Orleans than to do the Austin half? So I kind of last minute signed up for it and had a lot of fun doing it. It was actually important for me to run the Austin half this year because my very first half marathon goal I ever set for myself was to run the Austin half marathon. But in fact, my original plan was to run it a year ago in 2015. I didn't achieve that goal. I was too busy sort of graduating from nursing school, studying for my licensing exam, and then everything that happens when you become a new nurse. So I had plenty of excuses why I didn't have time to train for the marathon last year. But I set a goal to run my first half marathon as soon after that as possible. So I did. I have actually run 3 half marathons now in this year, and as I said, my 4th will be this weekend. One of the most satisfying achievements after you finish a half marathon, or I'm sure a marathon, is receiving a medal. And I've collected a few here. By a few I mean 3. And you know, you work hard to get your medals. I guess I'll just wear them. There we go. Look at that. You work hard for the medals, and I, in particular, never thought I would be able to run a half marathon in my entire life. So being able to achieve those goals, you know, the medals mean a lot more than just, you know, the little design that they carry or whatever. So I really wanted to find a way to display them, both, you know, to kind of inspire me in my daily life to make and strive for other goals, but also to encourage me to keep running. And so I took to Pinterest to try to find ideas for a way to display the medals. I have found an example that I'm going to make today. Thought I would show you guys how to do it. This is not my idea, and I'll put the link to the original poster below in the description if you want to make it. But basically this video will also show you what you need and how to do it. This is an Ikea DIY project. We have an Ikea nearby here in Austin. If you don't have an Ikea nearby you, if you live in America, you can actually order all the supplies online. You just have to pay a little bit of a shipping fee. If you don't have an Ikea nearby and don't want to order things online and pay for shipping, I'm sure you can order similar things from Amazon or from any number of local stores. So let's take these things off because they're kind of heavy, and I'll show you what I got. In order to make this, you need basically 2 things from Ikea. This is my giant Ikea bag. You need what is, I believe, a towel rack or a towel holder, and you need this, which is actually a picture display shelf. So I'll show you these in better detail now. There are some additional items that I needed for this project, so I actually bought 2 of these shower racks or towel racks. I bought a few hooks to hang from them, and I'll show you why. And then I bought some picture frames, and that's kind of part of the package. So let me take the receipt, we can talk about costs, and then we'll put it together. If you check out the Pinterest link to how to make this, you'll see that the one that I'm sort of emulating only uses these 2 ingredients, and that's the Moslanda picture frame display shelf. I have a cat climbing into my Ikea bag. I swear, put a bag or a box on the floor and a cat climbs into it. The second is this Bügel towel rack. These are not very expensive. The picture frame holder is $9.99. The towel rack itself is $2.99. I think I'm actually going to use 2 towel racks though, so my total cost for these was $16. If you just want the one rack, it's $13. I also bought some of these hooks, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with them, and the pack of 10 hooks was 99 cents. Also, you need some picture frames. Ikea has super cheap picture frames. They have picture frames as cheap as 99 cents. I bought a couple of these kind of silver ones. These are all frames that can be used for 4x6 or 5x7 pictures. And then this kind of black one that's almost like a shadow box style. These silver-ish frames cost me $3.99 each. And this one, also $3.99. So another $12, but you can save some cash if you are trying to do this on a budget and buy the 99-cent frames. They have many different styles and colors. So this is exactly everything you need for the project. If you can see a little closer here, it's this black colored wooden shelf that you mount to a wall. So, you know, this would be the front, this is the back that would go against the wall. It has this little lip in the front, and then you can display pictures up in here. You can see there's this little rib in here, so that if you have picture frames, they can kind of balance against that and lean against the wall. So it's kind of cool. It's very simple. And then you have this very simple towel rack. One thing I'm kind of surprised about is that neither of these came with screws. So I went through my garage. Everyone seems to have lots of screws laying around, right? So I went through my garage and found, I think, everything that I need. But I was kind of surprised that the screws were separate. So what I'm going to do, and you can see if you look at the Pinterest link below, is I'm going to put screws into the bottom of this so that I can mount this little guy to the bottom, so that what I can have is a place to display some pictures, and then I can hang my medals from below. It's very simple, right? These are actually perfectly matched for each other because they're the same size. They're both 21 3/4 inches, and the display that I saw had one rack mounted, but I'm aspiring to achieve many marathon goals, so I'm going to do 2 racks. One closer to the front and one closer to the back. So really, all I need to do right now is flip this over, drill a couple of holes into the bottom, and mount and screw them in. So let's do that. First, I'm just going to take a marker and mark where I want to place my nail holes. I'm going to use a drill to just drill a few little holes here just to start the screws off. But Ikea products are usually made out of pretty soft particle board type stuff, so if you don't have a drill, you really don't need one. But I'm going to drill a little bit first. Okay, so that's really all you need to do, is just get those started. And I'm just going to switch over to a little screwdriver bit on my drill and screw these things in. Guys, that's really it. Check that out. That took just a couple of minutes. It took longer to find screws than it did to actually put this together. Let me show you real quick what I'm going to do with the picture frames. I thought this was a really cool little idea when I saw it on Pinterest. You do need maybe a couple of additional items. One is pictures. Literally, I went to a local photo shop, actually CVS Pharmacy, and printed out 2 pictures. They cost 11 cents each, so that's pretty cheap. And then for one of these picture frames, I'm going to actually use a background that's kind of a colored paper. This was a thing I already had of like blank pictures, pages of different designs and stuff. So you can use whatever kind of background you want. I'm going to use this one. And obviously pick whatever pictures you find inspiring. I like that one. Guess I need a little tape to put on the back of this. Okay, that was one picture. That was two. This was from the Austin half last weekend, running across the South 1st Street Bridge, which was really cool, going into downtown Austin. Let me show you what I'm going to do with the third picture frame. I thought this was a really cool idea. Just tracing the sort of frame, the 5x7 frame, and then cutting it out of this paper. I think I want to do it like that. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Did you see that? So now I have this colored paper as a background. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with that shortly. Alrighty, so let's take my metals and what I've just put together, and we'll take it upstairs to where I'm going to hang it, and I'll show you the final part. Okay, the next thing to do is find a place to hang your project and to hang it. So I wanted to find a place in the house where I'm actually going to see this. I want it to be inspiring to me every day, but I also didn't want to like center display over the fireplace that I don't have or something like that. But I wanted to find a kind of happy medium there. So upstairs at the top of my stairs in my house, in between my two guest rooms, I have this little candle holder, which was my mom's. I took it from her house after she passed away and hung it on my wall like immediately when we moved into the house. I like it, I don't love it, and to be honest, it's a cross shape, which really doesn't speak to me. So we're gonna take this away. It's been in my house now for almost 5 years. I don't think my mom will mind. So we'll take this off and put the display here. Really all you need for this is some screws. You might want some anchors if you're putting it into drywall like I am. And that's it, maybe a level. I don't know if I have a level, but I have an iPhone app for that, and it's free. So I just drilled a couple of holes where the screws should go, the anchors, and then we will put those in place. Look at that, perfectly level. I like it. Okay, now check this out. This is the end of the DIY project. It's just putting it together. So let me show you. I might move the camera a little bit so you can see what we're gonna do. Okay, so we'll go ahead and hang the metals. My first run was in the Texas wine hill country. It was actually through a vineyard. This series called the Texas Wine Half Marathon Series. They hold it every year from what I understand. And you would think that I would have understood that a run in the hill country meant hills. But holy smokes, they weren't kidding. It was really hard, but it was a really good time. My next run was down in South Padre Island in South Texas. That was really fun, and I think this is a super cool medal, like a sand dollar with a little turtle on it. So as you can see, it's a pretty simple way to display your medals. Pretty clean, you know. But I think it's nice. I think it's kind of a cheap DIY that doesn't look totally hideous, that you can do for, you know, 20 bucks or so, and a trip to Ikea. Seriously, this took me about half an hour to complete, start to finish. It took more time like setting up the camera and moving the camera than filming, than putting it all together. Pretty cool, huh? Simple, clean, easy. let me show you what I had in mind for the back bar. Hopefully I'll be filling these bars up with more metals, but in the meantime, I saw on that same Pinterest site something kind of cool. So obviously when you run a race, you get a bib on top of the metal at the end. So I saw on that same Pinterest site that they actually took those little hooks that I bought, remember, and kind of displayed their bibs. And so I don't know what I'm going to think about this, but if you've only got a few races, it's kind of a cute way to display your race bibs as well. I hope that I will very soon have enough medals that there won't be room for these race bibs, but in the meantime it's kind of a cute way to display those as well. I don't have my wine series one. I probably got drunk on wine after the race and forgot about my bib. Okay guys, final project is to put up my pictures. So like I showed you, there's me on the beach in South Padre. This is running across the South First Bridge in Austin. And then what I did with that shadow box with the paper in it was this idea that I got from that Pinterest site, was to have a place to put my personal records. So like I said, I just bought this picture frame, any frame works, and put that colored paper in the back as a background. You can use whatever background you want. And then I took a dry erase marker and I have my personal records here. So these are all kept track of in my running app, but I'm sure every person who's run a race knows their personal records. And I have my 5K, my 10K, my half marathon records, as well as my full marathon personal record, which is still to be determined. This is going to be a goal of mine. So I thought that was pretty cool, and you can, because it's dry erase, you can kind of update it as you go. I've also seen people use chalkboards and stuff, but I thought this was kind of a cute idea. So we'll put that in the center, put my other pictures on the sides. I like it. I think it's cute. I'm proud of it. It's the result of a whole lot of work and achieving goals I never thought I would be able to reach. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have a display of your own for your race medals, let me know below. Follow me on Instagram as well. I'll post a better picture of this final project on Instagram. And until the next time, take care guys.